We're going to get into week 4 with the NFL. Dallas beat the Giants. Not a real surprise, really, with that. But the game was a lot closer than it has been in the past. Dallas usually beats them by 40 plus points. But this was a lot closer, which just goes to show me that Dallas might not be as good, which I don't really think. Big pass to CeeDee Lamb, but ironically, the Giants still had Saquon Barkley. They might be in contention for moving up a little bit, but it was a lackluster game. But the Cowboys did enough to win. They still have no running game, but they stopped the Giants cold on the run. But again, all due respect to Daryl Singletary, but he ain't no Saquon Barkley. And that pretty much the Giants could get in the end zone. That was it, really, the difference in the game. So kind of lackluster teams. Cincinnati beat Carolina. Burrow won. They got on the winning. They did enough. Carolina, Andy Dalton played pretty good, but Cincinnati should not be struggling with Carolina at all. That Cincinnati got some issues. They talk a lot of yang, but I don't think their depth is there, so we'll see. Atlanta beat New Orleans, and New Orleans had a chance to win this game. Couple missed opportunities, not getting field goals. Kyle should have gone for field goals, going for them fourth down. Kirk Cousins always finds a way to roll out the nickel and dime. He found a way to win. One thing about Kirk Cousins, if you give him opportunity, he will finish it out. Regardless of how he is as a quarterback, he will finish it out. So he did it again. Houston beat Jacksonville. My. C.J. Stroud is right where Trevor Lawrence was a couple years ago in the come up. Jacksonville continues to lose. They haven't won. Doug Peterson might consider another gig. The quarterback situation, and ain't really got much because you stuck with Matt Jones behind that. Houston did enough to pull it out. So that's the mark that they on the come up. So watch out for Houston down the line. They definitely on the right path. Denver beat the Jets in a game so if you ever watch NFL Network, they had this 12 minutes of highlights. There was no highlights. It was low lights. Could have cut that thing like 6 minutes. Jets need a field goal kicker. They should have made that turkey walk home. Aaron Rodgers looked old, and it really ain't much there. Bo Nixon, the jury's still out. He's still young. Sean Payton is doing really good. Vance Joseph's on defense. The Broncos' defense will keep them in games, but as long as they don't depend on the offense. But they too impressive back to back, but this was an ugly game though. Somebody had to win. Minnesota Green Bay was a crazy game. Minnesota was blowing them out, and then Green Bay came back late. Couple again, missing a legit kicker for Green Bay. Jordan Love looked very much like Brett Favre, gunslinging for a touchdown, 3 picks, but they were in the game. And that catch by Jefferson was really sweet too, by the way. Minnesota is legit. Green Bay will have a save before it's all said and done, but Minnesota, they're finding ways to win. Keep your eyes open. Indy over Pittsburgh, the return of Joe Flacco because Richardson got hurt. Justin Fields, they kind of threw Pittsburgh off. Jonathan Taylor was running and feasting. Who says running backs aren't where they're supposed to be anymore? There are still a lot of great running backs going today. And the Colts are going to be a feisty team. Keep your eyes on. Chicago beat the Rams. Caleb Williams threw a couple touchdown passes in the game, but the Bears defense has been the difference. The Rams, Matthew Stafford looked pretty good. They be in games. I just think Sean McVay is always like a piece or two. They just don't finish. That's the difference there. Tampa Bay beat Philly. Baker Mayfield, now he didn't like what Tom Brady said. There was some clapback going back, but I'm going to tell you something. They're playing really poised. They look really good. They could be a problem. They look at if they stay consistent. As long as Baker Mayfield don't be doing Baker Mayfield things of the past, they could be a problem. As for Philly, Jalen Hurts is off. His tendencies is off. The rhythm is off. They're wasting Saquon Barkley, who's beasting and feasting. I know A.J. Brown's coming back, but Philly's offense has not been where it's supposed to be. Their coach could be in trouble. It could be the Bill Belichick sweepstakes. Somebody's going to want that Philly gig because they're not in rhythm. They're out of sorts. San Fran beat New England. Brock Purdy, of course, you beat up on a whack team. And Jennings, the receiver and the running game, looking good. You know, they did what they're supposed to do. I like Brissett, the Patriots quarterback, but he's not as a starter. The Patriots in for a long season. That win against Cincinnati seems like a long time ago. But the 49ers are a dangerous team with all the talent. This is not Cal Shanahan's problem. Shenanigans' problem is in money time against legit top-tier teams and in the postseason. Got to finish it up. Got to eventually. Elsewhere, Washington beat Arizona. Kyle Murray's been having a really good season. Lane James kind of like what they got, but they don't play no defense and they get complacent. Washington, Jaden Daniels got to be your rookie of the year thus far. Very poised, looking like the second coming of Doug Williams. Look like his passing percentage. Washington on offense is feasting and beasting. Defense suspect, but their offense looks good. They are in first place so far in the NFC East, if that means anything. But don't act like this is a fluke, because he's bringing it. Kansas City beat the Chargers, is what the champs do. Nothing special, nothing pretty. Very New England like, matter of fact of business. But every time you turn around, Mahomes gets another W, another touchdown, and just do what he's supposed to do. And Travis Kelce still hasn't really gotten off that milk carton yet, but I'm telling you, Kansas City, you know why they are where they are. Their defense is balling. Herbert gonna still having growing pains. Him and Harbaugh gonna have to figure out. We will see what happens. Las Vegas beat Cleveland in a very lackluster, boring game. Deshaun Watson, they looked all right at first, but then they fell off. Gunnar show Minshew and running back for the Raiders came up big. The Raiders in Cleveland are like watching paint dry. It's not worth watching. It's a shame. It's a shame because Cleveland should be way better. The Raiders, I like Antonio Pierce, but they look like a 7-8 win team. You know. As a Bills fan, I already did a video about how Baltimore just beat the doorknobs off of the Bills. Derrick Henry running like he's Earl Campbell reborn. I mean, it's just they've beast him up on the line, beat him up. You know, I know Josh Allen had one nice pass in that game, but let's keep it 100. That was like watching a heavyweight against a cruiserweight. They just beat Buffalo up. If Baltimore can play some defense, don't blow leads, and let Derrick Henry run like that, and don't make Lamar have to be hero ball like what Josh Allen tend to do, they could be a dangerous team. You know, it was a one-sided massacre in Baltimore. Wasn't even close. Tennessee beat Miami, and this is like the lackluster backup bowl of quarterbacks. I'm glad to see Ty Hudley with Miami, but there's no rhythm, no cadence. Miami looks like they're headed for a lottery ping pong. Tua, post-pull, Tua, and great as Tyreek Hill is, there's nothing there. If you're getting blown up by Tennessee, who's known for turning the ball over and giving blowing games and not being that good, this was a lackluster. This is why they don't need to have 2 games of Monday Night Football. This is exactly why you don't. This was ugly. And the last game was great. Seattle and Detroit. You know, Jared Goff been balling for Detroit. Came up big. Montgomery running. Geno Smith had a couple of moments, but the problem is in this game is like so much poor tackling, and it comes down to who can make the stops and who can get the ball at the last. But every time these 2 teams have played in the last few years, they've had some explosive, high-scoring games. You know, very explosive. You know, and like they're like always fun to watch these 2 teams play. I don't think neither one of these teams necessarily will be what you call NFC Championship material right now, but Detroit's on the come up, and Seattle, you know, they're fun to watch, but usually teams like that are not championship worthy. But anyway, that's my thoughts and takes on week 4. You let me know what you think. Like I said, there's another week of bad play calling, the sorry account that goes for the kickoff return, which is horrible, bad coaching, bad quarterback, and no tackling. This Seattle Detroit game was indicative of that. I saw a couple plays, forget 2-hand touch or flag foot, but where were they playing? Because this guy's just running by. There's nobody, and the cameraman's the only one that can track people down. People are missing assignments. I can understand that the first couple weeks, but you in week 4, you can't be that blasé and blown. But anyway, tell me what you think. Please like, subscribe, on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another shitter if you like. Hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay true, stay honest, stay real. I'm at one time. Peace.